Well, hello everybody and welcome to Assembly, recording this on a very sunny Thursday afternoon and looking forward to the Whole Foundation concert this evening. It's certainly been a very busy week indeed. Going to start off with some fantastic news about Young Enterprise, where we are now in the national final. So on Tuesday, the student companies Caring Through Cooking reached the national final of the competition. It's an incredible achievement for the pupils to get through to that stage. I had to say I've been astounded by their growth and their confidence, the hard work and the entrepreneurial spirit that they've been displaying. This result now places the company in the top 12 student businesses in the whole of the UK. Massive congratulations and the very best of luck. Debating, we had a wonderful debating final. The Low 6 students were treated to that on Wednesday of this week. All the speakers for both Linton and the Manor were polished, persuasive and passionate in their speeches, and they were debating the motion this House would legalise human cloning. So they were asked to consider the science and the ethics involved in such a motion. The whole debate was a showcase in the incredible value of discussion and debate in a technologically advancing world. I personally can't remember seeing a better debate at this level. Well done to all the speakers, particularly to Linton, who were victorious. So I'd just like to thank Mrs. Lunardi and Isabel Zhang, who is my fellow judges in the final, and obviously huge thanks to Mrs. Lunardi for organising the competition. And a message from her that the final year group to have the opportunity to get involved in inter-house debating to add to the overall house points total will be the third form after internal exams have taken place. So listen out in tutor groups for information about representing your house. It's always wonderful to see students involved in the inter-house competitions who've never debated before. Well done on representing your house and trying out a new skill. Another amazing final took place early in the week as well, and that was the final of the third form inter-house challenge. The grand final taking place on Tuesday lunchtime between the highest scoring teams. The match was incredibly tight, but in the end, Hope and School beat Clifton and The Grove in an extended final, 390 points to 370. Just 20 points there and won in the last 20 seconds. So it was an unbelievable contest. Thanks to everyone who put the teams out, the contestants, the quizmasters, the scorers and the supporters. Very well done to the winning team and many thanks to Mrs. Jones for organising. So turning to sport and starting with tennis. Tennis courts have continued to be very busy over the past week. On Saturday, we played a block fixture for the boys and the girls against Sedbergh with 7 teams in all competing. Senior girls finished 4-5 in a very equal contest. The under-15s won 9-love and the under-14s won 6-3. The boys travelled to Sedbergh and gained some valuable experience at both senior and under-15 levels, competing very well against strong opposition. On Wednesday, the boys played a very tough National Cup draw against an outstanding Altrincham Grammar, who've reached the national finals on a number of occasions, and they've also played against Bootham and Worksop in the last week as well. The girls also compete against Worksop, with the seniors winning 5-4 and the under-15s an outstanding 9-love. The under-14 girls also competed in an internal Road to Wimbledon competition, with Hattie Hennebury the overall winner and Helena Freshwater the runner-up, both of whom are now invited to go forward to the next round. And cricket. Unfortunately, only one boys' cricket match survived the rain from last Saturday, and that was the under-15Bs team who played Ampleforth under-15s A's. We batted first and scored a competitive 163. The game was in the balance for most of the innings, and Ampleforth just snicked it away with 2 balls to spare. Wonderful also to see the father-son combo, Slingsby Senior, Slingsby Junior, umpiring as well. Sadly, the girls' junior home fixture against Hill House had to be cancelled due to the weather on Wednesday, but the seniors travelled away. They played in a very tightly contested match, and they only lost by 2 runs, with the scores being 266 to 268 in a very competitive and a hugely enjoyable afternoon. And this afternoon, Friday afternoon, the first 11 boys are going to be playing Worksop in the regional final of the National HMC T20 competition. A fantastic way to finish off the half term. It does actually look as though we may have the similar sort of sunshine that we had 2 years ago when the game was last played in similar fashion, and very much enjoying, looking forward to watching that one. CCF. A huge well done to the 4th form CCF cadets who deployed on their first overnight field exercise at the weekend. CCF staff have described your collective performance as the best they've seen for cadets on their first exercise, and they were extremely impressed with your enthusiasm, teamwork and general conduct during all the activities. I also very much enjoyed seeing your preparations for it and seeing how excited you were to be getting out on exercise. And the Laurentius lectures, so this week saw the last of the 12 short lectures given by 6th form scholars, concluding with a thoughtful examination on the implications of tourism in Antarctica. Very well done to all who delivered the lecture, and a further 6 lectures will be delivered at the end of next half term. And finally, firstly, massive congratulations to Mr. Mason, who was today, as Thursday, elected and sworn in as Sheriff of York, an ancient position going back to the 14th century. I was fortunate enough to be at the ceremony. It's a tremendous accolade for Mr. Mason. I'm sure we're very proud of him indeed and hope he will enjoy his year of office. Positions of responsibility for next year's UP6 have been communicated to pupils in the last couple of days, and this morning the full list will go up on my notice board in the Monkey Cage. I'm very delighted to announce, as I would always do in this assembly though, that next year the deputy heads of school will be Ellie Gillies and Will Ribeiro, and the heads of school will be Toby Mayfield and Lucy Faulkner. So many congratulations to them, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to working with them, the monitors and all others taking on positions of responsibility for next year. And such positions require the exercise of leadership amongst other qualities, and sometimes that does require you to simply make sure that things get done and done properly, but a large element of it is the accepting of duties and responsibilities to the school and to others. And at its heart, as many of you will know my views on this one, leadership is an act of service. There's been much written about the concept of servant leadership, and in my view it is the only proper form. Sandhurst, the Royal Military Academy, has as its motto, serve to lead. And along with some of my other mantras, such as play what's in front of you and do what's right, not what's easy, that is something which I always bear in mind. I also like to just emphasise that leadership is not restricted just to those with named positions either. A couple of years ago, I spent time with Martha Lane Fox, one of our country's leading entrepreneurs, and she made a very interesting point that anybody can be and should be an entrepreneur, even if they feel they're in a very traditional, structured environment. And what she meant was that you can always find opportunities to do things differently, be creative and put your own mark on things. And in my mind, leadership is just the same. You don't need a title or a gown to take the lead and live out the 3 steps of know the way, show the way and go the way. Other good news is that next half term we will return with fewer restrictions than currently. A letter is coming out later on today with fuller details, but some of the highlights which you may wish to know are that pupils will not be required to wear face masks in any locations at school, although they may be worn by personal preference. In line with government guidance, face covering should be worn by staff and visitors in situations outside of classrooms where social distancing is not possible. Lunches are going to be taken in the main dining hall and with the memorial hall being used for performances, rehearsals and other gatherings. We're going to be making additional bubbles, and they'll be decided on a case-by-case basis, and that's to allow more activities in music, sport and other co-curricular, and also looking at boarding as well. Parents will be permitted to attend sports fixtures and concerts, subject to complying, of course, with the school's visitor policy and maintaining social distancing between their own family groups and others. And the lower sixth will be moving from the Tent to Clifton and the Grove as their house spaces. And that's all to take place from the start of next half term. Obviously, we're running through to the end of today with the normal restrictions we have in place. After June the 21st, subject to government guidelines in place at the time, that's when we'd look at opportunities to return to more normal use of classrooms and house spaces. But that, of course, would be dependent on any decisions made nationally. And if there's one thing that we've learned in the last 18 months is that a week's a long time in COVID land, and that's still quite a few weeks off. So we cross our fingers and we watch and we wait. Today, though, does mark the end of half term, and what an incredible 6 weeks it's been, especially for the upper sixth and the fifth form who've been taking assessments. So very well done to all of you for all the hard work that's gone in, and I hope that you will now enjoy feeling that sense of relief that happens at the end of an exam season when the work's over and you can allow yourselves to relax and take a well-earned break. And a massive thank you also to all my colleagues who've been simply outstanding in the work that has been done this half term. I hope everyone gets a really good break over half term, and with some fine weather on the way, it should be a lovely time. So for now, enjoy the rest of today. Have a wonderful half term. My very best wishes to you and your families. Stay safe, go well, crack on.